In the last video, we talked about the Google Docs and the folder you would be working within. Now, there's also a file under the main folder, Courier 2012 in this case, and it's the Courier 2012 lineup. This is a spreadsheet, and in the spreadsheet it lists all the stories for each issue, along with some other information. So here we are at the first issue of the new year, and you can see along the bottom each issue has a tab. So the first one, second, third, fourth, and so on. If you need to see the later issues, you can click on the right and left arrows down here to scroll to the appropriate issue. So but for now we're working on the first issue, and you'll see a few headings in the first row: page, section, editor, writer, headline, elements, submitted, copy edit, and placed. So the page number refers to which page the story will be appearing on. The section, which section it'll be going into. The editor, that's the editor who's responsible for ensuring the story is completed. The writer, who it's been assigned to. The headline doesn't have to be the actual headline we'll be using, but basic idea of what's going on in the story. The elements, these are all the elements that the editor, writer, page designer, graphic designer, art director have agreed should be in the story. Submitted, now this is checked off when all of these have been submitted, not just, you don't have to put an X beside each one, just when everything's ready to go, that's when you check off submitted. Copy edit, that's checked off by the copy editor once they've had a chance to copy edit it. And placed, and that's been checked off by the page designer once it's on the page. So everything else here is the responsibility of the editor for each section. So for the first story, the news editors would be responsible for filling out the page, section, editor, writer, headline, elements, and submitted. Now, it's important to keep this updated because anybody who is responsible for looking at this page needs to know what the status of the production of the newspaper is. So it helps the copy editor know that there's copy in the right folder to be edited. It lets the page designer know that they can put the story and the elements on the page and not have to worry about there being changes. So that's why it's important to keep this thing updated. Also, as soon as you have a story idea in the works, go ahead and put it on in the appropriate issue, even if it's 2 or 3 issues from now, because people will look at it and ideas will start to percolate, and it'll just give us more time to come up with the best solution. Now, say for example, you have a story on page 3 that needs to go in. Now we try to keep this in sequential order. The reason being is if the page designer comes along and says, okay, I have to lay out page 3, and I go, okay, one story, okay, I'll do that, no problem. And then, of course, for some reason, somebody put another story, page 3, way down the page. They may not look for it. It might get missed or left out. So it's really easy to do. All you have to do is click on this empty row 17, and then either control-click or right-click, and just insert one row below. Do it again, one row below, and you can start entering your information. So page 3, we'll say it's a feature. We'll say it's Jeff Mosher again. The writer is Joe Smith. The story is tips for studying. And there's a story, and we're going to put another row below it. And we're going to add the element illustration. And there you go. So it's really simple. Just try to keep them in order. It's really easy to add rows. And yeah, that's that. So that is the Courier lineup, how you add information, how you use it, how you see what is coming up.